Bro, all they did was add a they added a picture of Teemo, bro. You get a new taunt. They're literally taunting you with how little Teemo got nerfed. This is crazy. Hey YouTube, the 2xKO patch notes 1.0.3, which is scheduled for release on November 18th, which is tomorrow as of this recording. The patch notes have finally come out. And the idea, you can just kind of look at this graphic here, nerfs to essentially the top 3 characters in the game: Ekko, Teemo, and Yasuo. As you've probably seen some of these top 8 graphics with all 8 characters being Teemo or Ekko or Yasuo, these characters are very, very strong. And in fact, I think this game is in a pretty imbalanced state relative to maybe some other games out there like Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6, it feels like you play half the cast and be viable. In this game, it feels like if you want to win big tourneys, there's maybe 10 or so teams that you can play, and the rest of the teams just feel a little underwhelming, right? So I think this is taking us in the right direction by nerfing the top 3 characters, the characters that are pretty much on every single viable team. You essentially broaden the scope of teams that can be played at a high level, right? Low level, intermediate level, I don't think this affects things too much. This is really targeted at the sweats, right? Like the really competitive players, and to add more diversity in characters, and maybe these changes will be the ones that make me switch off Yasuo or Teemo or something like that. Spoiler alert, I don't think so. Spoiler alert, I skimmed the patch notes. I haven't fully read them, but it seems like the top 3 characters in the game are still going to be Teemo, Ekko, and Yasuo. Maybe Ahri sneaks in there. Maybe it's Teemo, Ekko, Ahri. I think Ahri is quite good as well. But either way, these characters looking quite strong. But I do think the tiers are compressed a little bit, which is really nice, right? Blitzcrank got buffed. A lot of people think Blitzcrank is bottom 1, bottom 2 in the game. I think he's quite bad. I used to think Braum was the worst character in the game, and some days I think it's Blitzcrank. I keep teeter-tottering. Maybe now it's Braum with Blitzcrank's buffs, and Worry and Arik got adjusted. I don't know what that means, so we'll get into it. Online play will be unavailable, of course. They have to patch the game. They added this new mode called Bot Beatdown, where I guess if you beat bots, then you get chromas. Some of these chromas are pretty cool, so maybe I'll end up trying that. I think bots are really good to teach new players how to play and boost their confidence. So hey, I'm all for it. I guess they also adjusted how the learn tab works, but it doesn't really sound like that much. There's rank rewards, but if you manage to reach diamond or higher, you get this exclusive avatar hoodie. I guess a short sleeve hoodie. I don't think I have a tank top hoodie, but I've never worn a short sleeve hoodie. That's kind of cool. Maybe I get one IRL. And then here's what we actually care about: the system changes, right? So there's 2 core rules that they change, which I think are actually really nice. I actually really like both these changes. The first one is assists no longer have collision after they become invulnerable. This is one of my most complained about things in the game. There's this thing called assist body block, where if your assist just let's say it gets hit once, and then you try to move forward to get to the point character, the assist essentially body blocks you, and you can't do a combo, or you can't punish the point character. This is an amazing change. If they just changed this patch would already be a 10 out of 10 patch. This has been one of my most requested changes since the game came out. It's very, very annoying. In fact, I had to have entire new strategies to deal with this. I just played in tournament. I literally won 3 tournaments this weekend. 2 of them for 2xKO. And literally, when I was playing these tournaments, if this situation came up where the assist was dead in between them and the point character, I'd just back off. I would just back off because it's too scary to contest when you might just drop your combo, or something bad might happen, or you try to go for a throw or a mix and you just whiff because the assist is in the way and you get punished. So this is a very good change, and I think it's going to affect a lot how the game is played. And this will probably speed up games too, because you can be more aggressive after your assist dies. It's just all around a really, really good change. Yeah, let me just get 1 humble flex per video, all right? Come on, bro. Also, Turbo Dragon, appreciate the prime. This, I don't know how I feel about this change. When you parry something, any type of physical hit, so think assist or lockdown moves that happen full screen, this will trigger a parry shockwave that will now hit the point character. I don't understand why they said Teemo's S1 super, because Teemo's S1 super is a projectile. So I'm a little confused on what that means. Oh, no, I get it. So they're saying that if I do Teemo S1 super, I tag and then I do a strike first, it will blow back the Teemo S1 super away. I think that's like very unlikely to happen. I think this is a really weird example. I think they're just trying to, like, I don't know, downplay Teemo or something. But like, I think if I do Teemo S1 super and tag to Yasuo and Yasuo does his mix, bro, please parry. The chances of you being right on that parry are so minimal, because I can either do a low, a mid to check you from jumping, or I could just delay both, or I could just let you jump and then mix you after. Like, I don't really think this is going to affect that situation. What I really think it affects is certain strings. Like, so one of the things me and K7 want to do when we play Yasuo Teemo is K7 will do forward S1 tag. I'm full screen. I'll set up mushrooms. I'll set up the bush, and he'll keep doing forward S1. So now, like, because there's a gap in the forward S1, if the opponent parries, it blowbacks the point, which is me, and it makes all my shrooms and stuff go away. So it's actually like, this happens a lot. It's just Teemo S1 super is a really weird thing to happen. The other thing where I see this happening a lot is like assists. So there's a really, it's pretty common that you would do like a how do I say, like, I call Yasuo assist, and Yasuo assist goes really far. And if you're not like I could like space myself out, so like the Yasuo assist would hit really far, and even if they parry, I'm safe to the parry. I can still keep setting up, and like they don't get much off if they parry Yasuo assist. Now if they parry Yasuo assist, I get blown back, and they get at least advantage state, right? So I think this is actually a huge change, and it's probably gonna happen more often than you think. I don't know how it's really going to affect the meta. To me, this should make zoning effectively worse. It should make assist effectively worse. And it should make, like, delay tag out moves that are full screen, like Illaoi charge down S2. Moves like that effectively worse as well. So yeah, I think, I don't know how I feel about that change. I think it'll be an interesting shakeup though. It definitely matters, and it's a pretty significant change. But I'm kind of ambivalent to that. I think it'll just change certain strengths of moves, where I think this change is like 100% dub. This is no longer having collision. These bug fixes are amazing, by the way. If this was complaint number 1 I had about the game, which is assist no longer having collision, this is complaint number 2, which was if you throw a rolling opponent after a combo, like let's say they tech roll and you punish, it would have like super high combo scaling, so you essentially couldn't do a combo, or you had to keep your combo, like you had to have specific combos for after a throw after they roll, which is like really stupid. It's like this hidden mechanic that like barely anyone knew about, and like it would just make combos randomly drop. So the fact that they fixed this is like really nice. Fix the bug where champions were unable to block after whiffing a mid-air break. This is actually pretty significant. Most people get around this. They'll just tag after the mid-air break, and then you can block, or you can like come down with a button, or you can come down with air action. That being said, I think the big thing where this changes is if it's a happy birthday, you can't tag. And so like there would be situations where you get like happy birthday, and then you could like essentially just lose the game because you tagged at the wrong time. But that's good. That's good they're changing. This is obviously a bug. Air throw with recovery extremely high jump arcs is no longer shorter than it should be. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't know this was a thing. It doesn't even seem like that big of a bug. And made some small updates to animations. All right. I guess happy birthdays will be slightly more consistent. I'm not very hopeful, but that's cool. There's still a lot of bugs I really want them to change. In particular, there's a few Illaoi Vi bugs that I have issue with. One being like if you hold down S2 with Illaoi, you can't, and you tag in Vi, you can't dash through them for whatever reason. And then there's like bugs where like you get burst really easily if you happen to return to neutral if you do like move plus assist. Yeah, there's still a lot of bug fixes to do, but like at least we're on the right path. And I think two of the most egregious bugs, this and I would consider this to be a bug too, are fixed. So I'd say this section A plus system changes. All right, Ahri, let's go through balance changes. Ahri, bug fix for Ahri, as well as a change that targets some of Ahri's most high level routes. Spirit Rush mid-air forward S2 has reduced hits done scaling late into the combo. As a result, some of Ahri's longest combos will be shortened if used early in her combo. So I think this will come into play. So if when Ahri does her combo, she knocks you down, she does Heart on Fire super, and then she does the Rising JAA. What you have to do is you cancel that JAA into forward 6 S2. I'm guessing that won't work sometimes. So you might have to do like 2 S2, or you might have to do something else. Yeah, they specifically nerfed SKD. Wait, where are we at? It's pretty funny. I don't know what his YouTube is, but he just made a video about like in-depth system. Yeah. 2x KO combo system mechanics for nerds, which actually I need to watch this video because I am a nerd emoji, but yeah, he like does these like crazy messed up combos with Ahri. And just to give you an example, but I think this is like sort of triggering this kind of thing. I mean, all of this is like bound to work, but like here specifically, I think I know where this is gonna drop, right? You do the Heart on Fire super right here. That's where the combo drops. Oh no, you're already 820 damage into the combo. How will you ever live? And I'm sure SKD will find a way to make that work. Patch the Squid and Turbo, appreciate the Prime. Bug fixes, Ahri now has the correct number of instability frames on her ultimate. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, I've never seen that bug. And I guess... oh wait, they at least identify. Yeah, Ahri has this issue where like some of the combos drop on Warwick. And Charm reverted. I feel like this game just feels like so janky. Like there's like, it's just like patchwork. Like it's held up with like gum and sticks in the back, in like the like the back end. Like how does a hitbox get reverted to the previous smaller version? They recognize it and then they don't fix it. Like maybe it's just something I don't understand, but I don't remember these kind of issues happen with other games. Very interesting. Anyways, just classic Riot. All right, I guess so. First time. Yeah, I guess so. Jerry the Berry, appreciate it, man. You forgot. Okay, interesting. All right, Blitzcrank. So we were promised significant Blitzcrank buffs. Okay, maybe I made up the word significant. Maybe that's my headcanon. Because I think he needs significant buffs. But they did promise some buffs, so let's see what we got. We're giving Blitzcrank better steam generation, particularly on Power Fist, which is his like... wait. Okay, Rocket Punch is the forward advancing punch. Power Fist is the forward advancing grab, I believe. So Rocket Punch now destroys projectiles more effectively. Hitbox appears 5 frames earlier. Okay, so you can actually react to more projectiles with S2. That's kind of nice. So imagine Jinx throws a rocket. You press S2 on reaction. You're actually likely to hit it instead of getting hit. Rocket Punch projectile destruction properties now apply to the extended arm. So again, it's more likely to hit projectiles out. Beat air to ground projectiles like Teemo and Ekko. Oh, that makes sense. So like if Teemo does slingshot, a lot of times you just hit him on the arm and you get clipped, and that's less likely to happen, which I guess is good. So I think Blitz might actually be pretty decent against Teemo now. Spinning Turbine now generates 20% more steam on hit. I feel like Spinning Turbine, that's like the move where he goes... I can't spin all the way around my chair. That already generated like 30% steam. So I don't know if it's 20% more 30%, which is like 36%, or it's like actually 50% steam, which would be kind of cool. Steam Charge now generates a full bar of steam 25% quicker. That's good. That shit actually took way too long to build. So that's actually a dub. Wrecking Ball now generates 20% more steam on hit. Okay. Improving pressure. Final hit of fully charged Wrecking Ball. Block stun has been increased. Oh, that's so... Wait, never mind. I lied. I thought this was going to be good, and then I realized you have to fully charge the Wrecking Ball. I thought it was just, if you just did raw S2, it was +4. That shit takes forever. It takes so long to do an S2. Like, hello? Like, he goes forward, then back, then forward. How are you ever gonna land that against someone? There's no way. Like, this is a placebo change. When fully charged, wasn't as good as it should be against ground opponents. Yeah, if you manage to land the attack, good luck managing to land the attack. I guess at low level this would probably be pretty good. Tag switch mechanics. Well, the thing is, I guess so. But usually, like, if you do tag switch like gimmicks anyways, like, you can cover the Wrecking Ball. Riot shut me down, bro. All right, so yeah, my game crashed because I tried to open 2xGO to show you some stuff about Blitzcrank. I guess it's not happening. Generally, the TLDR, I don't know where we left off, but the Wrecking Ball change I don't think is much. I think you'd have to like freestyle tag, and it's not, like, realistically, it's not gonna be that big of a change for Blitzcrank, but it's cool. And these bugs, I don't recognize any of these bugs actually happening very often, so I'd say overall this is a slight buff to Blitzcrank. I think mainly the big buffs for Blitzcrank here are his neutral. Being able to hit the projectiles easier, I think is gonna be nice. So like being able to hit air time winder or air slingshot is actually great, especially because air time winder used to just give you a full combo. It still probably will, but you know, maybe you have a better chance of hitting him out. And I think the steam changes are good because when he has armor, he's a lot scarier defensively because he can just mash armor command grab. But yeah, I think overall Blitzcrank went from top or bottom 2 to bottom 2, but I think he's definitely gonna be a little better. No changes for Braum Darius. Opponents no longer recover immediately after being hit by Darius's Noxian Revolution super. So he gets Oki after S1. Wait, that just sounds like a buff. You can just do S1 super and you get Oki? How, what? Okay, sure. And Darius does more damage, S2, S2. Okay, sure. Bugs in the form of buffs. Honestly, the Darius changes seem about as impactful as the Blitzcrank changes. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know exactly what this looks like. Opponents no longer recovering immediately after being hit. Maybe it's just a very niche scenario. I don't really understand. But yeah, very interesting. Anyways, Ekko. So yes, Ekko, my number one complaint about character in the game. Let's see what you got. Ekko is overperforming in the meta, so we're taking some steps to tone him down. While he's a strong point champion, he's also an incredibly strong assist. I agree. Best on point, one of the best on point, one of the best assists. We're not opposed to champion being very good at two things, but when those two things are literally the whole game, yes, that matters. But Ekko is overperforming on both accounts. To remedy this, we're making nerfs to bring his assists more in line with other champions, as well as making Time Wider less oppressive and neutral. So this is my time, Chrono Strike assist. It sounds like I actually read all this. Basically, they increase the startup of my time, and they reduce the block stun of my time, which is means you can parry the gap in between my time if they do it. Which is actually a pretty good change because a lot of other assists and assists have a gap as well, right? For example, Darius or Braum, or actually I don't know if Darius does, but I know Braum does. I was testing that earlier. Illaoi, interestingly enough, does not. So maybe Illaoi's 4 assists is better than my time, but you're tagging in the worst character. So my time's still probably better. All around assist, yeah, it's quite good. The fact that I don't know what 15% means in terms of reduced travel distance. But if as long as my time doesn't go full screen, that's a huge nerf. Hitbox decreased in size vertically and horizontally, so again, that's a nerf. But they already said, like, didn't last patch I think they reduced the hitbox size last patch, and I didn't notice any change, so we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Just the startup increasing by 2 frames is like really nice because you should be able to parry it easier, right? I call Illaoi the worst character. No, I'm saying when you do my time, part of the strength of doing my time is being able to call when you tag into Ekko. And you tag into a broke ass character, right? Like if I do Illaoi assists, Illaoi 4 assists, what is my mix? They just retreating guard out and they're pushed out, right? When you do, and I don't even have any good mix besides strike throw. If I do my time, I'm point blank. I have the ability to catch up with them if they retreating guard or do something, and I can like do something and then roll behind it and make like 50-50s, and I have a much harder to block overhead, etc., right? So like being able, just because maybe on paper Chrono Strike assist might be slightly worse than Illaoi assist, I still think it's a lot better assist because when you tag an Ekko, right? Jack Shop, appreciate the tier 1. Time Winder assist has been increased by 5 frames. It was 17, now it's 22. I think that's good. Yeah, I think this assist is also very, very strong. And just be able to do something like Time Winder and then lock the screen and then they're forced to deal with it, was just quite good. And also it looks like they nerfed the properties of Time Winder, so that also affects the assist. So I'm cool with that. So good. Same thing with Mega Time Winder. I think this is the 3rd best super assist in the game. I'm actually glad they took this direction because I think the 3 best super assists in the game are actually belong to Ekko, Teemo, and Yasuo. And I think a lot of people underestimate just how important these super assists are into the overall meta of the game. I think it's really important because like Fury comebacks are really strong, and being able to have an assist that like lets you generate that Fury comeback really easily, I think is really, really important. Not to mention like you're guaranteed to like get 1 or 2 of these off a match, like if that character dies. So I actually think this is quite a big change as well because this is one of the best super assists. Again, there's a 15 frame startup assist. That's insane. So now maybe you can react to it. You could react to it technically before, but it was like very, very hard. So this is a dub. I don't think it's that bad because like it's still gonna lock down the screen, right? And you can't parry it. Well, you can parry it, but it's a projectile, so I don't think it's a huge nerf, but it's still like a nerf. Reducing neutral pressure. Time Winder. It's gonna do loads of shit. I mean, it's still gonna lock down. It's still gonna out prioritize other things. It's still gonna go through wind wall, which I still don't understand. It's still gonna be probably a top 3 assist in the game, or a super assist in the game. Reducing neutral pressure. Time Winder. Yes, reduced by 25 frames. This is actually pretty significant. I think it's a great change. A lot of people complain about this move. I think it was probably the strongest move in the game, potentially, just due to the amount of bullshit this move activates, right? Not only does it control space, it stalls for time to get your assist back. It's really good with tag into like cross ups or all this other bullshit, right? Easiest conversions ever. Very good move. It makes sense to delay, right? Yeah, it's Time Winder took up too much space for how committal the option was. That's interesting because it's very non-committal, right? And it lingers so long that they either get clipped by it or it just stall for assist and then they can do it again, right? This has been tuned to a number where Ekko's combos still function. That's good. Yeah, there's probably like some things that don't work, but it sounds like the solo routes are still gonna be intact. What supers even get blocked by wind wall? Vi rock assist. I don't know any other supers that are projectile though. Oh, Jinx's does too. Yeah. And Teemo darts, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things that get blocked by wind wall. Why I say Time Winder is the strongest projectile in any fighting game of all time? No. If you think Time Winder is the strongest projectile fighting game of all time, you haven't played enough shit fighting games. There's some very, very broken shit out there. Anyways, blocks done before Time Winder expansives have been reduced to 33 to 24 frames? Wait, this has way less block stun. When Echoes do like Time Winder on block, that's just punishable, right? That seems like, that's weird. I don't feel like that many people complain about the block stun of Time Winder. I think, maybe, I guess it's good for like, a lot of people do Time Winder tag, then maybe you can contest better now. I mean, I'm down for any type of the Ekko nerf. Block stun after Time Winder expands has been reduced from 37 to 32. I didn't know it had differential block stun. I guess it wasn't that different before, but now it's gonna be pretty different. No longer triggers proximity guard, which I don't think is that important because, like how often are you walking this game, right? Like you're typically just dashing forward, back. Like people are like, oh yes, proximity guard. This is what changes Ekko. I saw a couple of comments on Twitter, like, yeah, proximity guard is gonna make. Bro, who gives a shit about proximity guard? You're dashing back and forth. You're jumping. You're like, who the hell walks back in this game, bro? Anyways, but yeah, I guess it's a slight change. Time Winder toss is unchanged. I guess people are just gonna do down S1 more. Like you'll just do down S1 more, right? Like you just do down S1, hit the Time Winder, and it stays out for a really long time. Like, am I tripping? Like, you just do that. That seems really good. Anyways, 2M can be punished more easily as a lingering hurt box during the recovery frames. Recovery frames has been increased by 2 frames. This move had less recovery than M does anymore. I didn't know that actually. I feel like most Echoes swing with 5M anyways, because they can do like 5M, 2M to catch like retreating guard and stuff. So I don't think this is that big of a change, but cool, I guess. Reduce minimum damage override on Mega Time Winder now deals 98 damage less than a combo. I don't know how much it used to do. It felt like a lot more than 98 though. And I guess super does 20 less damage, whatever. This is actually probably the biggest change. Echo's crouching hurt box is now bigger. So the other 2 best characters in the game, Yasuo and Teemo, can actually mix up Ekko. So Yasuo jump too heavy is very, very bad against Ekko, right? It just didn't work. Like it would just like, it's like, I think it was like a 1 frame timing to get the jump too heavy to like actually hit overhead against a crouching Ekko. So now you might actually be able to mix him with Ekko, which is cool. I mean, you may be able to mix Ekko with Yasuo, and same thing with Teemo. You should be able to mix Ekko with Teemo jump to medium as well. So I think this is a big change, especially because it affects 2 of the more important characters, right? So overall, I think Ekko is still broken as shit. I still think he's really good. I've also heard about this. This bug is a buff. Fixed a bug that prevents Ekko from rewinding after a handshake, tagging after break. I've heard about Ekko players complain about this, but I never fully grasped what the significance. Prevented Ekko from rewinding after a handshake tag. But I don't get why you'd be able to rewind after you wouldn't have a clone out. I don't fully understand that. If you break with your point tag and Ekko, you can't. Oh, so like if you generate a clone and then you can't use that clone for like 5 seconds. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, you wouldn't have a clone after you break, but it's more of you generate a clone and then you can now use that clone. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so Ekko got buffed. But yeah, overall, I think this is definitely a nerf for Ekko. I have to see about the assists. I still think I still think these assists are gonna be quite strong and some of the best in the game. And Time Winder, I think, is the biggest nerf, but it still seems like it's gonna be quite good. So and yeah, same thing with the crouch hit proc. So I think like Ekko's definitely worse, but he's not like a full tier worse. I still think he's definitely top 3 no matter what. Illaoi is basically the same, except maybe a little bit better combos. All right, Jinx, basically the same. Oh, they changed the bug where she could do like 4 to S1 2x assist, and it's actually kind of broken. But these are all bugs. All right, Teemo. Everyone's saying this character is top 1, top 2 before the patch. And spoiler alert, bro, all they did was add a they added a picture of Teemo, bro. You get a new taunt. They're literally taunting you with how little Teemo got nerfed. This is crazy. We're taking steps so it's funny because like they're saying, like, you know, like on Ekko, they're like, Ekko is overperforming in the meta, so we're taking some steps to tone him down, and he's incredibly strong. They didn't say anything about that of Teemo. They just said, we're taking steps to reduce parts of Teemo's kit. Very funny. Wait, in context of Teemo nerf? I get why it can look confusing To peel back the curtain a little bit, many changes got locked in weeks before patches are live. The team wants to communicate and let y'all know it's on our radar and changes are coming. Oh, so eventually he's getting nerfed more. All right. Yeah, it does sound like, it does feel like they are one patch behind. I don't know why it takes them so long to patch shit, but they talk more about the other posts. They have more nerfs for season 1. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I think overall Teemo barely got hit, right? So the super assist got hit. I think this is actually a much more significant nerf than the Ekko super assist. That the mushrooms disappear if Teemo gets hit. That's actually really important. Bandle dash, frame advantage being decreased by 3. This is probably one of the scrubbiest things that Teemo had, but it wasn't actually that good at high level, I think. This is more of like a noob killer, so I'm kind of cool with them reducing this. And I guess you could charge Bandle dash and B+, but like really who's like, that just seems like the biggest parry bait I've ever seen. So yeah, this is obviously nerf. S1 super is like Jinx's. I think that's good. So basically you just don't get that much extra damage after super, which that's okay, right? Like, sure. We probably get like 100 less damage off of like Yasuo super tag or Teemo super tag in the Yasuo. Only backshots in a combo after. Well, you could probably do one more backshot, get the wall bounce, and then do limit strike, right? So like yeah, you're not gonna be able to get anything crazy, but like you can still generate limit strike, which is the important thing. Toning down the Yordle mix, Yordle hike is no longer a stands them up, so you can't solo mix people up. I think that's a good change, so cool. That being said, and these are pretty much like whatever, right? Oh, they should have kept this. That's stupid. What, Riot? What the hell? Like, this was not even good. It's just cool. I don't like this change. So what Teemo could do, he could like float on the top of the screen and like hold up, and he would slow fall and he'd persist on the screen after he tags out. Like who gives a shit? Why are we taking away this, bro? Like, that was cool and it wasn't even good. I don't like when they do stuff like that. Like if there's something that's cool and it's not like meta defining, like why not leave it in, bro? He created a corner with it, but it's not that good. Like, why would I create a corner when I could fucking super tag or throw a slingshot or something? Yeah, you can see the floor because he tagged a point character. Screen lock is dumb. I mean, like, bro, it's not that good. You're screen locking, but like they're in a cage with you, you know? Like I play Teemo, I never use this. It's not good. Why would I ever do this when I could just fucking slingshot tag? It's 10 times better. Anyways, Vi, bug fixes. Oh, anyways, overall thoughts on Teemo. I think he went from top 1 to top 1. Yeah, I thought this character was crazy, and I still think he's crazy. He definitely got nerfed, but like, again, this isn't like a full tier nerf. This is like a half a tier nerf. If you didn't do it, why do you care? Because it's cool. I think having the option, maybe like let's say I have ascend to full Teemo mastery, right? And it turns out there's like a very niche scenario where this is used. Like, that's cool, right? Like okay, maybe I only use it once in every 10 matches, but like just to be able to bust that out, I think it's neat. I think having more options in general is better than having less options, right? Maybe there's a team where like this up parachute's actually good. I don't know, it's not my team, but maybe there's a team, right? And then you get to see it. I think characters having more options is generally a good thing when they're not broken, right? Like, no one complaining about Teemo was like, oh, thank God they nerfed the up parachute. That's the nerf Teemo needed. Like, down medium, this was an overhead. This was supposed to be a mid, and that, like, they left that fix in, right? Like, I don't know. I think you could have left this in. It really didn't do much. It was just cool. Maybe it's a technical I have no clue. But like, it probably wasn't breaking anything. My guess is they intentionally nerfed it because it wasn't supposed to be there. But I think it was cool. They should have left it there. I also thought that about the Ekko change where you could rewind after being after doing a get up attack. You could rewind. Like that situation literally only comes up in like once every 20 matches or so, right? And maybe once every 50 matches. Like, who gives a shit? That's not meta defining, and it's cool and it's new. Anyways, Vi. This patch is just bug fixes for Vi and should keep her power level relatively unchanged. Yeah, these are all nothing burger changes. All right. Warwick, add an additional hitbox on Warwick's M. So he buffed it as one of the best buttons in the game. Okay, sure. But I guess it just won't whiff. That's probably pretty minor. Willow, appreciate the prime. Are man doing a tier list prediction? Yeah, I'll do one. It's gonna be the easiest tier list prediction ever. Warwick travels slightly farther during the forward throw. Okay. These all seem like nothing burger bug fixes. Yeah, okay. So basically Warwick's unchanged. Except I guess sometimes it whiffs a little less. Jack Chop, Guilo, and SQ appreciate the prime, guys. Does VFX mean their super won't be just start punching the corner? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the super looks like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get my hopes up on that. All right, Yasuo. Yasuo says we're toning down the damage by adjusting the H follow-ups from his calm stance. We're also adding additional risk to his current best mix-up option, mid-air down H. And his backdash is nerfed, and his calm stance backdash is buffed. Why is Vi nerfed again? Where do you see the Vi nerfs? Am I missing something? Maybe this is a nerf? Handshake tag S1. Oh, I guess I never really used it. I never played double down Vi. But I never really see people abuse this. No longer puts the opponent in a frozen state. That sounds kind of broken. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe that's a nerf, maybe that's a buff. I don't really see this very much at high level because you don't see much double down Vi at high level, but yeah, interesting. The invincible assist bug? Okay, whatever. I mean, like, I didn't see it much anyways. All right, Yasuo. He got his damage nerfed. Stance too heavy and stance heavy got nerfed. Less damage. Steel Tempest. Hasagi does 5 less damage. All right, so he does slightly less damage. All right, not a big nerf. He already did way too much damage. Mid-air down heavy can't be canceled in the special moves on block. This is a huge change. Now, like, one of the things I got good with Yasuo that I didn't think a lot of other Yasuos would do is they would do mid-air down heavy, and they would just always cancel the S1. And so what I got used to is I'd hit confirm the first hit down heavy, and if it was blocked, I would just do nothing, and then oftentimes I'd be safe, right? So I do think this is a pretty big nerf, despite the fact that you can now mix up Ekko, which is actually a pretty big buff for Yasuo, right? But overall, I think this is generally bad, but you can still keep it safe, right? But basically, you block that down heavy, he's getting punched. Which means solo, you're probably not going to be doing much mix unless you really have them conditioned. Stomp down S1, light now pushes slightly further back on hit or block. Stomp light whiffs now. I think as long as you can do stomp in the light, I don't think that matters that much, right? Because like one of the things that K7 likes to do is like he'll do forward S1 and the stomp and the light, and most characters can't contest that. But it sounds like you can still do that. You just can't do stomp light. All right, sure. I don't think this matters that much. Oh wait, actually, no, wait. This might actually be bad for combos, because a lot of times you do Hasagi into stomp into stance M, and it sounds like this is gonna be a little harder now. So maybe the combos will be harder, and sometimes you have to route more into forward S1, S2. I think this is the biggest change Yasuo got, besides the down heavy, which is the backward movement speed reduced by 20%, which is crazy. Imagine getting slowed by 20%. That's absolutely insane. Backdash speed while calm has been increased by 10%. That doesn't seem like a very good compensation buff. But the fact that they're saying Yasuo had the fastest backdash in the game by the numbers, You know, honestly, I thought he had a pretty similar speed to Ekko, so maybe if they just make his speed like Ekko, then he's probably still gonna be okay. All right, neutral nerfs. Gale Blade has been increased. Hurt box has been increased in size. That's probably good. Sometimes I try to hit it out, I just get hit. That actually, I agree with this nerf. I actually agree with most of these nerfs. Jump too heavy has been nerfed, and power star frames have been increased by 3. Can you react to the overhead now? I feel like you might be able to fuzzy his mix. You might be able to do like, oh, too heavy. I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking jump too heavy. No, too heavy has been nerfed in power. All right, this is good because this is probably the most broke too heavy in the game. It might have the best hitbox. I'm not sure about that. Ekko's is really good. There's a couple other really good hitboxes on 2H's, but his post block situation on 2H is insane. You block a 2H and you're getting mixed. like other characters can, like, you know, maybe they can like frame trap you, but like Yasuo just stance cancels and then he just 50-50s your ass, bro. Like, it's such a good situation that that move did need yeah, that move didn't get nerfed. Stormbreaker assist has been increased by 8, so that's the super assist. I actually thought, so if you asked me of what Yasuo needed nerfed, I would have nerfed Stormbreakers at the super assist, and I would have nerfed I actually thought rapid slash would get hit, because it's like the #1 thing scrubs complain about the character. They didn't hit rapid slash, the forward 6S1, the charge cross up move, but they hit him in a lot of different ways. So I think Yasuo is probably the most nerfed out of the 3 characters. He got a lot of changes. He's still gonna be good though. Fixed a bug where Yasuo's mid-air S1, S1, S2 at 11 extra frames of recovery. Yeah, so this is actually a buff to him. You can do, like, you could do this before, but it's really finicky. Like, you could do air JS1, S1, S2, and then pick up with stomp, and like it was really hard. Now you can do that better. They heard his upper level mix instead of lower. Yeah, I guess since Yasuo is kind of hard at low level, it makes sense that they would like keep the scrubby stuff low level. 6S1 is garbage parry bait. Yeah, I see top players get hit by it all the time, so I don't know. The thing is, if you're playing Yasuo and your charged 6S1 gets parried all the time, it just means you're being too predictable about it. Like, really. Known issues. Yasuo's collision. All right, whatever. Quality of life. Layouts. All right, cool. That's pretty nice. Basically, they're saying like you can add different control schemes for different input types. I feel like I gotta be like one of the only people that it impacts. General changes, none of these seem that crazy. User interfaces, these all seem really minor. Are there any like things I should be looking at? Oh, I guess I'll let you know if your opponent disconnects. That's cool. They fixed a rank promotion bug. I don't know what the fuck a modal means. What the fuck? I still don't know what it means. Overlapping, like a pop-up? Okay, it's like a widget. Got it. So pop-up screens. Yeah, there are some like weird bugs with pop-up screens. So is there anything else good here? It just seems like a bunch of like really minor stuff, which is good. Gotta keep and then Crime City bundle. Oh, that's cool. I actually like this costume a lot. Same thing as Sandstorm, Ekko. I think there's both cool costumes. And that's it. All right, let's browse Twitter for let's see what people are saying. Yeah, announce that most of Teemo's combos are bugged. Show that the bug is air spin dash, not every recovery, and they don't fix air spin dash, which is kind of funny. All right, let's see what K7 is talking about. Pro, why did Yasuo get shot to death and Teemo and Ekko are still breathing? Riot! Bro, crying face. Sonic gonna be on Vi? I don't believe it, bro. I absolutely don't believe it. Let's see what Leffen's saying. Oh, nothing? What about Super Noon? I feel like this is definitely a dub patch for Super Noon. Saving energy for stream tomorrow. We'll be focusing on Teemo and Ekko. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be playing Teemo Ekko. I think that's probably the best team in the game now. Balance patch every 5 weeks gonna have fellas on unreal levels of cope. I legit cannot imagine the things I will hear from now on. That's why I'm gonna play what Super Noon's team is, and I'm gonna let him do all the bandwagoning. Teemo still Teemo. Time to game tomorrow. Yeah, I knew Super Noon would be happy. And who else do I have to check? Let's see what Sonic Fox is saying. Leffen's crashing out of a 5-week patch cycle. I'm okay with a 5-week patch cycle. The thing is, the way I want to approach this game is I want to be good at every character, right? And so I'm cool with like constantly switching teams. I'm cool with that. In any case, I think I'm gonna study Vi deeply next. Does anyone have Oliver Easy the hard beamies? That's cool. I'm interested to see that because I'm still kind of doomer on Vi, but maybe the idea is like Vi is pretty good against Teemo, so then Teemo would be pretty decent. Teemo is still Giga top 1 still. I kind of agree, but I think Ekko is quite strong too. Patch notes seem like a good direction. Ekko nerfed hard, Yasuo not too far behind, Teemo not nerfed enough. Yeah, it looks like people are pretty much saying the same thing. Wait, what is this? Teemo might be top 1. Yada says he's been top 1 and will continue to be top 1. If you thought otherwise, you haven't had eyes. That's crazy. What? Bro, this Chay's definitely a I think Ekko's still broke, bro. What? Bro, people are already downplaying. This is the obnoxious thing. The only thing bad about a 5-week patch cycle is the amount of downplaying is gonna go even harder on Twitter. I don't know if I mental could take it, bro. I don't know if I can take it. I need to get off Twitter. This is actually ridiculous. All right, I'll give you my final thoughts on the patch. I think here, I made a post last patch, which I don't remember when the last patch was. This is the same thought as last time. W patch, fairly early impressions. Most characters stayed similar strength level. I think Yasuo, Ekko, still top 2. But the game is headed in the right direction. System changes are great. Excited to play the patch. This is my same exact thoughts, except Teemo is ahead of Ekko and Yasuo. So right now, I think it's like Teemo, Ekko, Yasuo, Ahri. Maybe Ahri passed up Yasuo. I'm not sure. I mean, we have to feel the patch notes, but I still think that's top 4. Super Noon, just let me know who you're playing after the patch, and I'm gonna be playing that team. That's all. I don't need to hear your thoughts, Super Noon. I will just play whatever team you or Leffen are playing. That's gonna be one of my 2 teams I play. Yasuo only goes even with everyone now, not 6-4 poor Yasuo. Yeah, I don't understand why people are doing about Yasuo. I think the character is still very, very good. And I play Yasuo, bro. I'm like biased. Anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts. This is my thoughts on the patch. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and take care, y'all. Peace.